All right, welcome to Pooper Dicks. And that's all I'm going to say there. And hit those YouTube buttons. They're dusty and rusty and could use some love from you. Either way, namaste. Chilling in my van, eating Taco Bell in the Walmart parking lot in the meantime. I'm totally okay with that. I got myself here. I get myself out of here. People help me along the way. You can choose to help. You know, if it's too much skin off your back, then I understand. I'm not going to give you any grief about it or guilt. So let's get right into the new cards. I just did a segment about all the old cards, and I decided that is going to be pasted right behind this segment, where we go ahead and review all the new cards we're getting in Pauper. This is every card for Pauper in Modern Horizons. There will be no more new cards coming out. We got the full spoiler preview right here. Amorphous Axe 2. Equipped creature gets +3 and +0 and is every creature type. Equip 3. That will see some play in fringe play in tribal decks, of course. Like elves and slivers will like this. And also, yeah, this could be also sideboard in there for sliver decks. So if sliver decks become a problem, this is going to be your answer to sliver decks in your meta. I believe that is definitely possibly Pauper playable. I'll give it a B. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Answered Prayers. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. If Answered Prayers isn't a creature, it becomes a 3/3 angel creature with flying in addition to its other types until end of turn. It's an enchantment. It doesn't say that it has haste, so I don't really see. That's kind of annoying. If it came into play with haste and I could tap and attack with it, the turn when it becomes a 3/3 angel. Maybe I'm stupid on this, but generally when a creature comes into play, it has summoning sickness. And an enchantment is not a creature. Fight me. I don't really have a lot of an opinion on that card. I'd give it a C+. I would not use that card really. Although, you know, I did like to run Sigil of the Empty Throne in my Selesnya enchantment deck that I built. I didn't net deck. I wasn't net decking back then. I just had like Journey to Nyx and all those other. It was like a standard thing. Like back in 2015. So 3 mana. I mean, you could be dead by turn 3 with some of the decks that are coming out. You know, like either reanimate Ulamog turn 2, you're done. Like, what are you going to do? Answered Prayers on turn 3? And whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, so then you have to wait till the next turn, and then you have to sack your enchantment if Crusher comes swinging, unless you want to just get rid of land. I mean, if you're playing tokens, that could be useful, though. In addition to its other types, like it becomes a 3/3 flying angel creature in addition to its other types. Like, so yeah, I guess if you say then equip the angel with the Amorphous Axe and you have haste slivers on board, then cool. But that's just too much, you know, it's a headache if you ask me. Akroom's Astrolabe costs a snow-covered mana, or 1 colorless, but it has to be paid with a snow permanent, okay? Enters the battlefield, draw a card, add 1 mana of any color. So it's a Prophetic Prism, basically, for 1 mana. Buy Prophetic Prism. It was nice knowing you. Except in Affinity, we'll still be using you, and Tron. So this is for all the Mother decks, I guess, like Skred or something. Because, yeah, there was no reason to put a Prophetic Prism. It's too slow for those decks. Now we have a Prophetic Prism for those decks. That's cool. That's going to see some play. I give that an A. Just a straight A, not a A+. I wouldn't say it's 100%. We might not see it, like, at every, out of, if you go play a tournament, you're not going to see it every time you go play a tournament now, but You'll see it a lot. It'll be pretty frequent. I think that's definitely possibly proper playable. So we have a sideboard card, a possible card, and yeah, a playable card. So now with the snow-covered lands being reprinted. And this Azra Smoke Shaper. These ninjutsu cards are getting pretty good too. I've been looking at them. This one's 3 in a black, or you can ninjutsu in for 1 in a black. When it enters the battlefield, target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. It's 3/3. Okay, I guess protection for Ulamog's Crusher in your black-red Reanimator deck, maybe? But I don't think there's room for that. That's fringe play at best, or maybe sideboard play for protection. You know, like, oh, they got creature removal out the yin-yang, and we'll throw Mother Ninja in there. Yeah, so that'd be more of a sideboard card for the Exuminator. Bellowing Elk, 3 and a green. As long as you had another creature enter the battlefield under your control this turn, Bellowing Elk has trample and indestructible. And it is a 4/2 for 4. Okay, trample indestructible as long as you play a creature. I mean, I give that a C. Even C-. Maybe Stompy will want it. I don't play Stompy. I haven't yet. I will soon. And I'm sorry, I don't have much more of an opinion. I don't really like playing green or white too much in this format. In my opinion, white. I got the Heroic deck, and then Prowess Monarch, and the Familiars deck. There ain't a whole lot. I mean, white's got a lot good stuff going on, and it's sad, really, but. Sad but true. Bladeback Sliver. 1 in a red. Hellbent. That means if you have no cards in hand. As long as you have... Yeah, no cards in hand. Sliver creatures. Why did they put Hellbent then? Just put as long as you have no cards in hand. Sliver creatures. I'm sorry, I'm old school. You control have tap. This creature deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Or planeswalker, not creature. That's neat. So yeah, just... get a bunch of 1-drops out with him and start plinking your opponent. You can make a Timmy deck now, guys. That's cool. That will see play. That is proper playable. And, yeah. There's a lot of old school slivers that'll... Anyway, whatever. That's definitely going to see play. I don't really want to get too deep on any card here. I'm trying to be swift with this. Bogard and Dragonheart. 2 in a red. Creature, human, shaman. Looks like a dragon creature, but okay, yeah. Whatever. Sacrifice another creature until end of turn. Bogard Dragonheart becomes a dragon with base power and toughness 4/4, flying, and haste. Cool, because Scion of Urza is the only other 4/4 we have in this format. And that's colorless, but it costs 6 colorless to play a 4/4, or you can reanimate it. Sack another creature until end of turn. It gets a 4/4 haste. That's cool. For 3. Otherwise, this is a 2/2. I think that's going to be pretty good in like a Rakdos Aristocrats kind of deck. That definitely will see play in that type of build. I don't know. Actually, I'm 50-50 on the seeing play. I'd say it's quite possible that this is one of those cards that has potential that just never sees it. We've seen plenty of those come out in recent sets. And it could be that these cards are good and they just haven't been really brewed with or messed with. People are like, yeah, that seems neat, but I'm not really interested in building a deck around it or with it. And so for years it just sits. And then something else comes out and makes it a little more relevant. Cave of Temptation. Tap for colorless, add 1 mana of any color. 4, sack it. Put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature. Activate this ability only anytime you can cast a sorcery. Thank you for clearing that up for us. I wish they would do that every time. Almost. Add 1 mana of any color. For 1. Yeah, it doesn't come into play tapped. That's pretty tight. You can tap for colorless. So it's like a second Ash Barrens, but not as good. So that'll help multicolor out. That's a proper playable card, yeah. I'd give that a B+ or A-. Changeling Outcast. I said I wasn't going to do lands on my last part, but as far as new cards coming out, that is definitely, that one's going to be in mixed in. Get yourself 4 copies. Changeling Outcast. Changeling can't block and can't be blocked for 1 black. That's going to be better than probably Frenzy Sliver in Slivers. So if you're playing 5-color Slivers like me, this might be the replacement for Frenzy Sliver, just because it's a 1-drop and he'll get all the abilities of all your other Slivers. So, of course, if you're playing against elves, then that means elves will get to any of their all elves on board stuff will get triggered. So that's the downside, but it ain't much downside. At least right now. I mean, we'll see other tribal builds in the coming year, I'm sure. But anyway, definitely Pauper playable. But only it's going to see French play in tribal decks. So, I mean, how often do you see tribal decks? Not very often lately. Chiller Pillar, but that's coming. They're coming back with people like, oh, I have to play something besides Delver. Oh my God. Chiller Pillar. 4/2 snow, monstrosity 2. As long as it has monstrous, it's also flying. 3 and a blue, 3/3. That's not bad. That could be for Azorius Monarch right there. That's another Azorius Monarch card. I'm calling it. Snow creature insect. I don't see a insect build coming. If it was a fairy, that would just make mono blue even happier. Could be a mono blue Dex too, but it's just kind of slow. But then again, so is blue, so that's possibly playable. Cleaving Sliver, 3 and a red. Sliver creatures get +2/+0. 2/2. Nah. There's so many other slivers that just there's no room for that sliver in a sliver deck. Unless you're playing like mono red or something, I don't know. Defile, that's 100% Pauper playable. This is a new Pauper card. We will see this card. It might be more sideboardy, but gets -1. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn for each swamp you control. So, I mean, that could be main board, really. And it's the only thing that's not good against is like Bogles or Ulamog's Crusher, maybe. I mean, but eventually Ulamog's Crusher would not like that too, so... I mean, it's better for like Delver. I mean, that's definitely a Delver hate kind of card, you know. You get that off turn 1 right after they play Delver, or wait a couple turns and kill their Aberration, whatever. It's definitely a playable card, but I think that is the best application for it. Enduring Sliver, 1 and a white, Outlast 2. Other Sliver creatures you control have Outlast 2. That's not bad. That could be, you know, a one-of if you're playing a homing Sliver deck or you're playing green-white. This could replace Sidewinder maybe, because flanking is okay if you're attacking and not blocking, and you're trying to have your opponent block or whatever. I don't know. I got mixed feelings about it. It's possibly playable at best. I mean, I haven't tried every build of slivers either. I've only run rainbow slivers. I used to do a 3-color sliver deck back when I was playing just like casual at home, but I mean that's with every other rare sliver out there, and that was a lot different. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm just gonna say Epiphone, so Ephemerate. Exile target creature you control, then return to the battlefield under its owner's control. Rebound if you guys, so you can do it again. Enter the battlefield effects. This could be good in Azorius Monarch with Moldrifter. That could be pretty tight. It's a little cheaper than Ghostly Flicker. You can do it on a mnemonic wall, but it's basically like a Ghostly Flicker. It just takes an extra turn. I've heard other people review this card and give it like, oh well, it's, you know, not that great, and plus we already have Cloud Shift, and that never sees play. But this has Rebound. And I think Cloud Shift has like Flashback or something, I don't know, but I like it. I think it's playable especially if you're doing blue-white, like Familiars or Monarch. I'm going to make a blue-white Monarch deck. I've decided that after looking through all these cards. I think that's one of the new exciting decks we have to look forward to. Excavating Anurid, 4 and a green. Right off the bat, I want to say not Pauper playable. It's 4/4. It has Threshold, so it gets +1/+1 for for as long as you have 7 cards and vigilance. So 5/5 vigilance for 5. And when it enters the battlefield, you may sack a land. If you do, draw a card. I'll give it a C minus, maybe even D. Just a straight D. I don't think that's going to ever see play. Kite, 1 in a blue. Flying, gets +2 so as long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn. That's decent, so I'll give it a C. I'm done talking about that. Fairy Seer is awesome. It's totally pauper playable. It's going to go right into Blue Delver, and there's going to be mono blue fairies. If it had flash, it'd be right in there in Oops All Instants too, but that's a really good card. Really strong. First Spear Gargantua, 4 and 2 black. When it enters, lose a life, draw a card. You can unearth it for 3, 5/4. And then he's exiled after you unearth him. Not playable. I give it a D. Fists of Flame, 1 in a red. Until end of turn, draw a card until end of turn. Target creature gains trample and gets +1/+0 for each card you've drawn this turn. That's going to be like Kiln Fiend deck. Like, that's kind of their way of being like, sorry about Gitaxian Probe. Maybe this will replace that. I doubt it, but I mean, you could try this instead of Gitaxian Probe. I know you have to wait. You have to spend 2 mana. Like, maybe throw in some of that red stuff that is like Dark Rituals that they were printing, like, you know, back during Urza's Saga and Time Spiral series. Not Urza's Saga. Why do I sometimes confuse the two? Sorry. Fountain of Ichor. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. For 3 mana, or you can 3. Fountain of Ichor becomes a 3/3 dinosaur artifact creature until end of turn. Okay, so it's a blocker. That could see play, but it costs 3. I mean, there's other things we can play that's like costs 3. I mean, we could have an indestructible artifact that taps for any color that costs 3. A dinosaur artifact creature, unless maybe there's a dinosaur that gives all dinosaurs haste or something. Then that could be useful, I guess. But otherwise, nah. No, I don't want to go there. Don't go there. Sorry, guys. Frostwalla is cool. It's a 4/4 for 3. You just have to spend a snow-covered mana each turn to make it a 4/4. I mean, so, yeah. That's not too bad. I don't know. Green likes it, I think. Geomancer's Gambit. That's pretty cool. Hey, that Urza's Tower you have there. Trade it out for a basic land. Put it in the graveyard. And I'm going to draw a card. And shuffle your library. So if you just stack something too, that's pretty powerful. At first it seems like crap, especially since it's a sorcery for 3. But it's a little bit better than a Stone Rain. It's more direct for, you know, yeah, you're not getting rid of your opponent's lands, but if your opponent, I mean, there might be more of a sideboard hate card for Tron and be like a replacement for, instead of just the old, what the hell is that card? 2 red and a 1 to destroy target land if it's non-basic, deals 2 damage or whatever. That, I forget what that's called. Y'all know what I'm talking about. There's plenty of other land destruction that costs 3 that doesn't do that. I just think this is going to replace that, whatever that one was. Gluttonous Slug, 1 in black. Menace, evolve, 0/3. Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. Give it a C. It's not going to see play, probably. Goat Nap, 2 in a red. Sorcery, gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap creature, gains haste. If that creature is goat, it also gets +3/+0 until end of turn. Alright. I mean, when's it ever going to be a goat? But yeah, I mean, there's other things. I guess that's better than just There we go again, forgetting names of cards, but paying 3 and grabbing control of target creature, it gains haste till end of turn. Hey, but if it's a goat, you get an extra +3 +0. So that's just going to be the new steal spell. I mean, but yeah, there's my best friend, like, yeah, he builds decks where he steals your creatures. So that'll be another steal your creature card and then fling it at your face. Goblin Champion, haste, exalted, 0/1. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can sack him later, but yeah, it's alright. Might see play in some goblin builds. Goblin War Party, 3 in a red, choose 1. Target 3 red creature tokens. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain haste until end of turn. Entwine. Yeah, that'll help the goblin token deck that I was working on, maybe. I mean, you might see 1 or 2 copies. You ain't gonna see like play sets or anything, but yeah, I could see putting 1 copy in my goblin token deck. Headless Spectre. I got a little overexcited about this when I saw it the first time, and then I realized there are other cards that, like the Okinobi Shinobi or whatever, that one that from back in what is that? Kamigawa sets. I did play Magic then too, not as heavily as I did when I played Time Spiral. But anyway, Iceberg Can Crix, 1 and a blue. Oh, by the way, I'd say Headless Spectre is not really playable. Get out of here. What are you doing to me? I don't want to do any of this. Just leave me alone. Thank you. Not really playable. I mean, late game, you might get a card out of their hand, especially if they're playing counter spells. Like, oh, you're holding on to a counter spell, are you? Well, go ahead and just discard it, because I have no cards in my hand, but it's just like, oh no, I'm not planning on holding on to this card to cast it because you have a counter spell. See, so that gets just hairy. It's just at best. +3 for, but it's 3 for 2/2 flying that sometimes gets a card out of our opponent's hand, so it could see play. But I'm gonna give it like a B-, C+, because I like the effect, but only because have personal feelings about the effect. Whenever another snow permanent enters the battlefield under your control, you may have target player put the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. That's cool. I mean, so you could put it in Dimir, like do like a Dimir dredgy thing, or you could mill out, so you could use it in a mill deck too. Blue-white mill monarch build could be neat. And I'd say it's possibly playable. Igneous Elemental, 4 and 2 red. This spell costs 2 less to cast. If there is a land card in your graveyard when it enters the battlefield, you may have it deal 2 damage to target creature. 4/3. Wow, I was just watching a cartoon Avengers thing last night that had this exact guy in it. It was the bad guy from Black Panther. He had gotten like vibranium like on him while he was like imprisonated. Anyway, so at best he could cost 4 instead of 6 for a 4/3, and he deals 2 when he comes in. That's going to see, I mean, you could build around it, but I don't think you could just toss it in a deck, you know? So it's not going to see a lot of play, if any. So give it a B-. Impostor of the 6th Blade. Okay. 1 and a white for a changeling, 3/1. That's pretty good. That definitely is better than, could be better than Snooze Slivers in some applications, depending on what you're doing with your slivers there. Like, if you're just getting them poisonous, then yeah. Man, we're seeing a lot of playable, and but as far as actual ground-shaking popper cards, I've only seen a handful. We'll go over everything at the end. A regular cohort, 2 and 2 white, changeling, 2/2, enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 color shapeshifter creature token with changeling. So you get 2 2/2s for 4. So that's like Battle Screech. That'll be your replacement if Battle Screech goes away. Maybe. They're not flying though. But they're every creature type. So that's good for slivers, but and they're 2/2. Or you could just play 1-drops and have a bunch of +1/+1 slivers in your library. I mean, that's what I did. I put like 12 +1/+1 creatures in my library, and then plus the poisonous 1 creature. Yeah, anyway, Knight of Old Benalia, 3 and 2 white. Already not, unless you suspend for 5 turns. Okay, so you can play it on the 5th turn, or you can play it on the 5th turn. He has haste. When he enters the battlefield, other creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. That's sort of neat. I don't think it'll see play. Lancer Sliver, 2 and white. Sliver creatures you control have first strike. Okay, or we could just play Striking Sliver for 1 red. But if you're not playing red, then there's your first strike Sliver, I guess. Not really playable if you ask me, for 3. Magmatic Sinkhole, 5 and a red. Delve, deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker, but not player. So it'll be a sideboard card for burn. Great. Mater's Soul, 2 and a white. Convoke. That's good. 3 and 2. We may see some Selesnya Convoke decks. When it enters the battlefield, if you control no tap lands, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. That's pretty sweet. 5/3 for, or 5/4. You just have to have 2 untapped, or you have to have no tap lands. So I think, yeah, that'll be interesting. It's a card to build around. And he may end up being like Loyal Sentry last year, like, oh wow, this is a great card, and then nobody uses him because he's just too janky. I'd give it a B at best. I don't know. It's possibly playable. I mean, it's super. You get it out, and that's definitely going to contest with Gurmag. So it's a white Gurmag. It's just a little weird. And he's versatile. You don't have to do the Convoke thing. You don't have to have 2 untapped lands or no untapped lands, whatever. But I'm sorry, I keep saying 2. Mind Rake, 2 and black. Target player discards 2 cards. Overload for 1 and a black. Each player discards 2 cards. That's only good if you have no cards in the hand. I'd say that's a C. Mob, 4 and a black. Give it a C already. Convoke, okay, maybe not. Destroy target creature. Yeah, that's good if you got tokens. I don't see a lot of black token decks these days, so I give it a freaking C. Moonblade Shinobi, 3 and blue, or ninjutsu for 2 and blue. I think he's going to replace the old ninja. When it deals combat damage to a player, create a 1/1 blue illusion creature token with flying. We're going to see a more aggro-y, fly blue. That's going to go in blue-white monarch too. Jesus. Mother Bear, 1 and a green. Exile Mother Bear for your graveyard. Create for 5. Create 2/2 green bear creature tokens. Activate this ability only anytime you can cast a sorcery. And it's a 2/2. Okay. It looks like we're going to see a new archetype, bears. Otherwise, that's not playable. Marasa Behemoth, 4 and 2 green. Trample, 5/5, gets +3/+3 as long as there is a land card in your graveyard. Easy enough. Put a set of Evolving Wilds and Ash Barrens and Terramorphic Expanse in your deck. You're sure to have something in your graveyard by the time you can come up with 6 mana. Not really that playable. I give it a C-. It's a 5/5, but can be an 8/8 on an 8/8 on turn 5. So we'll see that in some maybe black-green Golgari reanimation thing. Yeah, so it's playable there. Nature's Chant, destroy target artifact or enchantment for Selesnya. 1 and a Selesnya. Okay, cool. 1 and a green or a white, and for those of you who don't know the lingo. That'll be a good sideboard card. Ninja of the New Moon, 3 and 2 black, or Ninjutsu, 3 and black. 6/3. I mean, just BAM for 4. But you got 6 damage turn 4. That's a good catch up, especially with all the life gain we see in a lot of decks these days. Orcish Hellraiser, 1 and red, Echo red, 3/2. Dies, deals 2 damage to target player or planeswalker. This is going to be good for Rakdos, Tortured Existence, guys. Otherwise, he's not going to see much play at all, in my opinion. I'm just going out on a limb there, because he's an orc, not a goblin. Phantasmal Form, 2 in blue. Until end of turn, up to 2 target creatures each have base power and toughness 3/3, gain flying, and become blue illusions in addition to their other colors and types. Draw a card. That could go both ways. Like, Ulamog's Crusher is just a 3/3 flying now, and I'll block it with my Aberration, Insectile Aberration, so he dies, and I'll draw a card. And I'll make my Insectile Aberration 3 just for the hell of it. So, whatever. I mean, that's like a sideboard card. It's pretty good, actually, because it's versatile. You could do it to your creatures or their creatures, but it could go south if they are playing, like, tokens or something. Phantom Ninja. 1 blue. Phantom Ninja can't be blocked. He's a 2/2 for 3. Yeah. I'd like him better if he just was Shadow or had Infect. Give that a C-. Pondering Mage. This is an interesting card for 3 and 2 blue, 5 combined mana cost. When he enters the battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put them back in any order. You may shuffle, draw a card, and he is a 3/4 for 5 mana. So you're getting a 3/4 for 4 mana, and you ponder, basically. And that's cool. Because, like, somebody could be playing, I don't know, you could be playing creatureless, like Mystical Teachings, and throw him in on game 2 or something. That's going to see some play. That's going to be interesting. It's going to add a little twist to our meta. But I also don't think he's going to make a major, maybe like 0.5% of the meta, you'll see him. Putrid Goblin. So I give him like a B-, I guess. 1 and a black. Persist. And he's a 2/2. Yeah, we need some more of that. Because, yeah. There was definitely a void there for persist creatures. He's a zombie goblin too. So he's filling like 3 voids in 1. That's the 3-in-1 card. It's pretty good. I'd give it like a B+. Pyrophobia, 1 in red, deals 3 damage to target creature. Cowards can't block this turn. Who are cowards? Like, okay. I guess, yeah, that's for like a modern thing or something. There's like humans and cowards or some crap. It's not a pauper thing. Deals 3 damage for, it's a Incinerate with an extra little thing. So it's better, just a little better than Incinerate if you happen to be playing a deck that plays cowards. I don't really see the point. I give it a C. Quakefoot Cyclops, 4 in a red. I already give it a C. When it enters the battlefield, up to 2 target creatures can't block this turn. You can cycle it for 1 in a red, and target creature can't block when you cycle it. So it's like a Reanimator piece. Maybe you could try it out in your Rakdos Reanimator, but I would only put 1 in there at best. Just not good. Not good. I mean, 4/4. I'd rather reanimate so many other things. Rain of Revelation. 3 in a red, 3 in a blue. Draw 3 cards and discard a card. Okay, you get another one of those. I give that a C. That might as well just be a vanilla creature to me. There's so many of those cards. 4C, for instance. Sleight of Mind. And plenty others. Preordain. Ponder. I mean, goes on and on and on and on and on. Just, yeah, we didn't need it, but whatever. 3 in a black. Maybe for modern. Not for pauper. Rank Officer enters the battlefield. You may discard a card. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Exile a creature card from your graveyard. Each opponent loses 2 life for 1 in a black and tap. Yeah, I mean, that could be used in a zombie deck. It's a 3/1. I give it a C. I don't know. That seems like a 1 of or 2 of at best. And it's like, I don't know what else to put in my deck. I'm going to put a Rank Officer in there and see what happens. Ransack the Lab. 1 in a black. Stop doing that to me. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 1 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. That's different. It's kind of like Black's Ponder or something. It's a sorcery, though. I give it a B-. Recruit the Worthy. 1 white instant buyback 3. Create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Cool. It's like Sprout Swarm for white. It's a little bit cheaper. So probably we'll see play over Sprout Swarm now if like you really have no preference of running green or white. Just you want a buyback token creator. I mean, there's also the Lab Rats, but or maybe it's not Lab Rats, I can't remember, but there's a buyback lab or buyback rat one from Stronghold that does that too, but cool. So now we just need to buyback token creator for red and blue and we'll be set. Recruit the Worthy. I think that's going to see play, especially in Boros tokens. Reprobation, 1 white. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and is a coward creature with base power and toughness 0/1. Okay. Yeah, and then I guess then they pump them and then you be like, oh yeah, pyrophobia, you can't attack, haha, or whatever. Man, did not mean to do that. Return from extinction. 1 black. Choose 1. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Return 2 target creature cards that share a creature type from your graveyard to your hand. Alright, that's better than that stupid pirate thing they put out, Journey to Ixalan or whatever, or Rivals of Ixalan. Obviously it's for slivers. That's the intent here, according to the artist. I mean, you could do zombies, we could do elves if we're doing black-green, but that, yeah, wouldn't work so much. Or goblins now with that persist goblin we just saw. You could do, like, fringe black, you know, just a spot of black with this in there, but, yeah, it's not bad. 2 black to get 2 creatures back. It's like 2 raised deads in 1 card. I give it a B. Rocks Veteran, 3 in white. Battle Cry. Whenever this creature attacks, each other attacking creature gets +1/+0. 4. 2 and 4. Whenever it attacks, tap target creature and opponent controls. And it's a soldier. So we're looking at paying 3 for it with that Kithkin guy. Sorry, not Kithkin, but you know what I'm talking about. It's from that time period of like around 2006. That set. Lorwyn, around then. Because we'll definitely see some play in the soldier deck, and could see some play in other white decks that use white, whatever, like tokens, like Boros tokens. Rhyme Tender, okay, 1 and a green, untap targets no permanent. That's sweet. That'll see some play in decks that use Frostwalla. Savage Swipe, that'll see play in the bear deck that I mentioned. I don't see much. I guess there's other bear stuff in the past to go with it, but yeah, it's pretty particular. I've already reviewed that card. Scour all possibilities, scry 2, then draw a card for 2, flashback for 5. It's better than Think Twice in some decks, but some decks are going to play Think Twice over this. It's just like an extra little option, that's all. Not that great. Give it a B+. Segovian Angel, 1 white, flying vigilance, 1/1. That's going to go good in the in several of the decks I've mentioned that have white, or any token kind of decks, or that give all creatures, you know, +1/+0 or 2+2/+0. Settle Beyond Reality. 4 and a white, choose 1 or both. Exile target creature you don't control, exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under owner's control. Oh wow, for both. But it's 5 mana. So that'll go in those Monarch decks that I mentioned. Maybe 1 copy. They might want to run 1 copy because it's removal, or you can get your enter the battlefield effects again from like Muldrifter, or I don't know, Mnemonic Wall, or that Rhino that makes your opponent skip his attack phase next turn, or whatever. Shenanigans is going to just keep us from seeing Affinity be a viable option. Anybody that runs red is going to have this instead of Gorilla Shaman. Gorilla Shaman is going to plummet to a 0. It's going to be worthless pretty much once this is printed. I guess there will be decks that still would prefer Gorilla Shaman over this, but I just don't understand why they would. I mean, because you just dredge 1 and you get it right back, and so you always have artifact hate. that's just nasty. You'll see that all day long as Affinity is a viable meta game option. And because it's existing now, Affinity is just going to go kaput. And you're going to see them very often, if not at all. Thanks, Shenanigans, for killing Affinity. There's a card to ban. Shenanigans. Silumgar Scavenger. 4 and a black. Flying exploit. Definitely a proper playable card, though, Shenanigans. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Silumgar Scavenger. It gains haste until end of turn if it exploited that creature. It's a headache. It costs 5 mana. It's flying. It's a 2/3. It's not that good. I give it a C-. Smoke Shroud. 1 in blue. Enchant creature. Gets +1/+1. Has flying. When a ninja enters the battlefield under your control, you may return Smoke Shroud from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to that creature. Cool. There's going to be some ninja builds. I like that. So we'll see Travel Ninjas now. Thank you. I like ninjas. Soul Strike Technique. 1 and white. And it'll be Dimir, by the way. That would be the most viable ninja. Either that or mono blue. Soul Strike Technique. 1 and white. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has vigilance. When enchanted creature dies, manifest the top card of your library. I think manifesting is really stupid. Therefore, I'm going to give this card a D-. I hate manifesting. But you may be playing some Fathom Seers. So this is going to go right in with a blue-white Monarch. If you do play it, it's going to see Fringe play. People are going to try to use this with their Fathom Seer. Kind of get them right off the top of the library and flipped. So all you got to do is return 2 islands and then boom. So you never actually had to pay the 3. So that's going to speed up Fathom Seer and make Fathom Seer like the underground Gush now, guys. Soul Strike Technique will see blue-white Monarch play with Gush. With Fathom Seer. Excuse me. Mark my words. Spell Snuff. 1/2 blue, counter target spell. Fateful Hour. If you have 5 or less life, draw a card. Good Night. That's, maybe 2 copies in mono blue decks, or 1 or 2 copies in a mono. I'm sorry, not Boros, and not mono. Azorius Monarch. I swear I'm going to build an Azorius Monarch deck as soon as I get these cards. Spinehorn Minotaur. 2 red. As long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn, it has double strike. That's going to go in a Killing Fiend deck. But yeah, then again, it could go in the Reanimator deck too. It's pretty powerful. That could make Reanimator last more to mid game. It's pretty cool, actually. I'd say that's a if you're going to play black, red Rakdos Exhume, you should really consider putting Spinehorn Minotaur in there, because you're going to be playing Faithless Looting so that you can dump your Ulamog in the graveyard. So why not have him? Because you're going to be drawing 2 cards every time you Faithless Loot, and you're going to do that at least 8. If you get them all, Flashback. Hello. Springbloom Druid. 2 and a green. When it enters the battlefield, you may sack a land. If you do, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library. 1/1. That's good for landfall. It's really good for landfall. I've built a Selesnya landfall deck. He's going to go in there. So that's good for that deck. Could be good for dinosaurs and elves also. Stirring Address. 1 white. Instant. Target creature gets +2 that you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Overload, you can get the Overload for 6. So that's going to go good in them token decks. That's a finisher. Although I'd say the Overload cost is a bit expensive. So you're only going to see like 1. I wouldn't run more than, maybe 2. Stream of Thought. 1 blue. Sorcery. Target player puts 4 cards of their library into their graveyard. Shuffle up to 4 cards from your graveyard into your library. Replicate for 4. That's really good that could be a better kill switch for Freed from the Real. I don't know if you guys follow my channel, you'd see me play Freed from the Real about 2 weeks ago. I was whooping the shit out of every deck I played against. So that's going to go good in there. It's going to go good with Persistent Petitioners decks. It's going to go good in Turbo Fog. It's going to go good in Tron. This fits in so many places. It's a good, powerful card. I give it an A. String of Disappearances, 1 blue, instant. Return target creature to its owner's hand, and that creature's controller may pay 2. So it's a Chain Lightning, except it bounces. I give that an A+. Just cause, I mean, just the 1 blue, return target creature, instant. That's great. A+. That's going to see play. Tornado, 2 green. Destroy target creature with flying or cycle it for 1 and a green. That's a sideboard card at best, and I don't see it even seeing a sideboard as a sideboard option unless you're playing Standard Magic on Arena, which this card isn't being printed for Standard Magic on Arena, so it's just I give it a C- because. Treefolk Umbra, 2 and a green. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature is +0/+2, and assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Whoa. It assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Hell yeah. So now we got a different way to play Tribe there. Tribe players are going to be doing Selesnya Tribe, maybe. I don't know. That's a possibility, or more possible would be green, blue, white, or something. I don't know. I'm sorry, green, blue, red. Team or Tribe. There we go. There you have it, folks. We got a Team or Tribe deck, it looks like. Treetop Ambusher, 1 and a green, dash, 1 green, 2/1. When he attacks, target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Okay. Haste creature. I mean, dash is great. I remember, what was it? Oh, now I forgot the name of that creature. That was really annoying. The red creature is costs like 3 mana. You dash in for, he's like a 3/2 or something. Oh man, that's gonna bug me. My brother used to whip me with that card all the time. It was back in like a Mirage card, I think, or Visions. Viashino Sandstalker. There it is. That's what it was. Trumpeting Herd. 2 and 2 green. Create a 3/3 green elephant creature token. Rebound. I wonder if Viashino is a popper card. Should be, but it probably isn't. Trustworthy Scout. 1 and a white. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's get back. So this one's popper playable. Green aggro decks or build. Gruul's going to love that card. The Elvish Berserker. Elves are going to love that card. Trumpeting Herd, 4 for a 3/3 green elephant creature token that rebounds. So you get 2 3/3 green. Yeah. Stompy's going to love the hell out of that. So is Mono Green Tron. Trustworthy Scout. Exile Trustworthy Scout from your graveyard. Search your library for a card named Trustworthy Scout. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Okay. So it's kind of like that eagle. Damn it, it's not an eagle. It's not a phoenix. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The annoying creature, it searches for other copies of itself. But this one you have to exile from your graveyard to get another one out. So, yeah. That's kind of neat. It's a human scout, so it doesn't really have any tribal application yet. But I'll give it a B-. Twin Silk Spider, 2 green, reach. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/2 green spider creature token with reach. Wow. That's, for once, I want to play a spider. I like that. 3, you get 2 1/2 spider tokens. Or you get 1 token and 1 creature. That's not bad. I give that a B. Mezza's, I don't think it's going to see much play though. Mezza's Charm, 1 black. Choose 1. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Target creature just -1 -1 until end of turn, or you gain 2 life for 1 in black. Okay, I don't know. It could be just be like a C+. It's not that great. Universal Automaton, Changeling 1/1 for 1. I have the same feelings about that. There's so many other 1/1s for 1 that we could play in our tribal archetypes that they're just, I don't know. Maybe if you're running like, 5 color slivers, that could be good along with the other sliver that was printed way back in Stronghold. That's just a 1/1 for 1 sliver. But see, this is slightly worse because it could be triggering elves. So, Metallic sliver's better. But if you want like 8 metallic slivers, then there you go. Venomous Changeling, 2 and a black for a Changeling Death Touch. 1/3. I guess a B-. It might receive use in black red slivers or something. I mean, the Death Touch effect is cool. It could be a Death Touch goblin or elf. I doubt it though. Vioshino Sand Sprinter. Man, they talk about instant manifestation. I did not know anything about this. Trample Haste, 1 red 4/1. Wow. At the beginning of an end step, return it to its owner's hand. Wow! That's hilarious. Cycling, 1 red. That's better than Sandstalker. He replaced Sandstalker and he's common. I like it. I give it a B+. Doesn't have application everywhere, but it's, man. I mean, 3 mana for a 4/1 Trample Haste. That's decent. Volatile Claws, 2 red. Until end of turn, creatures you control get +2/+0 and gain all creature types. Yeah, that's going to be really good. This, especially like against slivers. That's another sliver sideboarder for red. And tokens is going to love that. Goblin tokens especially. So, yeah. And, yeah, wow. That's really good. It could be a little better if it had buyback, but oh well. Wall of 1,000 cuts, 3 and 2 white. Defender flying. Wall of 1,000 cuts can attack this turn for 1 white as though it didn't have defender. It's a 3/5 for 5. So it's like Wall of Swords and Animate Wall rolled into 1. Because, you know, that's what we wanted to do way back when we started playing Magic. And I guess finally... No, not yet. Wart-Eye Witch. 2 and a black. Whenever Wart-Eye Witch or another creature you control dies, scry 1. It's a Goblin Shaman. So it'll be good in Rakdos Goblins. It's not that great, though. Give it a B-. Weather the Storm, 1 and a... Oh, my God. I give it an A+. It's a Storm card. You gain 3 life. It's 1 and a green. I mean, A+. That's going to... There's going to be decks around that now. We're going to see new Storm. I mean, that Delver thing I was talking about. Also, maybe the Timor Tribe might want to use this. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this could be one of those cards that just sees only play in a couple of decks. But there's it feels like there's a lot of options right now. I can't really think about this because Pauper hasn't had Storm. I've never even played a Storm deck. The closest thing I've played is Blitz with the Kiln Fiend, but I thought that was too slow. So it could be that this just doesn't get played or gets played in like Stompy, and yeah, that could definitely work in a lot of decks, especially decks running Mutagenic Growth, because it's like Gitaxian Probe. So it's going to storm off for free. I mean, all right, I'm done talking about it. I like the card. What can I say? Windcaller Aven, 4 and 2 blue, 4/3 flying, cycling blue. When you cycle it, target creature gains flying until end of turn. That's going to be good in a blue-green reanimator that uses like a dash of white or black to reanimate. I don't know. I mean, just because it has cycling, it's a 4/3. There's not a lot of 4 flyers, so, and it gives flying to when you cycle it, so you could make like a Crusher or a Striped Riverwinder flying. Winding Way, 1 and a green, choose creature or land. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all cards of the chosen type revealed this way into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Damn. That's better than Lead the Stampede. There's 1 less. Just 1 less, colorless, and 1 less card, but you can get creatures or land. And in some ways better than Lead the Stampede. That's an A+ card. Winter's Rest, 1 in a blue, enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. As long as you control another snow permanent, enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. So we get another Journey to Nowhere, but it's for snow. Yeah, that blue-white's going to be icy. And manipulative. I'm going to build it. Guys, I think I've given you the deck list. So when this comes out, let's all get to work brewing that blue-white Monarch snow deck. Seems pretty cool. You even see some Jeskai. I mean, that new land may not affect the meta at all, but it could shake up the meta. Shenanigans. There's a lot of cards. I'm not going to go over it right now. I have to look over it and then re-record for the end. So hold on. Okay, so this part of the segment, I'm just going to go over new cards that were printed that are going to be a 100% grade used cards in the format, in my opinion, which I could be wrong. So let's go backwards here. Winter's Rest, part of a new deck. If that deck isn't very good, then it could not see play. As far as what we have meta-wise, let's go with that. So we won't go with new deck material or new deck archetypes, because that gets a little confusing, because it could take years for these decks to develop to actually be meta worthy or top tier decks. With that in mind, we're just looking to see what we have so far that is 100% playable with what we have right now. That hasn't been brewed, because like until we brew these things out, we really don't know. So with that said, Winding Way is 100% playable. Winter's Rest could be... I'd say that's a possible sideboard card for Skred. So we got one card 100% playable here. Weather the Storm. Weather the Storm's another sideboard card for right now for the tech we've been seeing and using. So so far we have Winding Way. That's it. That's the only solid card. Okay. I mean, I'm being strict. Volatile Claws is another sideboard worthy card. Vashino Sand Sprinter. That could be used in Exhume. Black Rakdos Exhume. I'm just going to go super strict here with that 1-3 law. Trumpeting Herd. God, I think, yeah, that's going to be... We're going to see that in Stompy all day long. So that's 2. Trumpeting Herd. Because, yeah, green hasn't got much either. You know, white and green have been, like, getting the shit end of the stick lately on prints. Or new cards being injected in the format. Treefolk Umbra is... Well, that's a new archetype. As far as everything else we have... It's going to make new decks. No comment there. I can't really say for sure. String of Disappearances is 100% playable. So that's 3. We already have 3 cards. Stream of Thought, 4. I mean, these are all just like... Okay, Spinehorn Minotaur. Yeah, that's going to see play in red decks. The Faithful Salute. But I wouldn't say 100%. Spring Bloom Druid. Yeah, I mean, we could do without it. It's not... It's like some of these cards are like you just can't even build that deck without using this card. But some of them is questionable for me. +1/+1 vigilance. That's going to see Stroll Strike Technique if you're using Fathom Seer, but that's the blue-white Azur's Monarch deck. So it's tough to say. I mean, Modern Horizons is really shaking up our format, guys. Like, this is groundbreaking. These are groundbreaking cards, okay? Not like we've seen in previous sets. They've really been working at this. So it's tough to say. Smoke Shroud, that's creating a ninja deck. But otherwise, I wouldn't say that should go necessarily in anything that we already sees play in meta right now. Shenanigans is definitely a sideboard card, for sure, without a doubt. But then again, you know, like, who's going to want to run Affinity in this meta with Shenanigans and that other card that's really nasty I mentioned earlier. If you guys are looking at getting into the reprints of the set, that is coming up next. That is the next segment. Hopefully I get the tracks right on this video. It's a very long one. So, Amorphous Axe, Answered Prayers, nah. Akram's Astrblade, 100% playable. So we got Winding Way, Akram's Astrblade. Jeez. Alright, you just take notes, guys. I didn't... Blade Black Sliver, yeah, I mean, that's another archetype card. Same thing with the Dragon Guy. Cave of Temptation, there we go, there's another one. So that's 5 cards we've got in this format, for sure. That are definitely, if none of these other cards do anything, create no new decks, all these decks are just failures that I've been talking about, we have definitely 5 cards injected into our format that will see play. Defile is another sideboard card, so that's like 8 cards if you count the sideboard cards. Ephemerate, I'm just going to say we already had Sky Shift or Cloud Shift, and that didn't see any play, so that doesn't really see play as far as I know, without not including new decks. Fairy Seer, that's number 6. We got 6 solid cards for Pauper. And I'm almost wanting to say that's 7 Geomancer's Gambit. I mean, I'm being really strict here. And I almost want to say that's it. We have those 7 cards, and the rest of them are just kind of like janky, iffy, like they could go either way. Mater's Soul is like Gurmag. That's number 8. But then again, I could be wrong. Moonblade Shinobi, number 9. That's definitely going to see play. Mother Bear 10. That's going to see play too. In Stompy at least. Nature's Chant, sideboard card, won't count it. Ninja of the New Moon is really good, but I'm not going to count it. Hellraiser's good, I'm not going to count it. Tasmal Form's pretty good, I'm not going to count it. Pondering Mage, number 11, although it's expensive. Nah, I'm not going to count it on that alone because it's 5. Putrid Goblin's just okay, really, when you get down to it. But I could be wrong. I'm okay with being wrong, guys. These are just my opinions, man. Ransack the Lab, we'll call that card number 11. So, Recruit the Worthy, that's card number 12. Reprobation, that's number 13. That's like Journey to Nowhere. I mean, make your guy 0/1. You know, then I can kill him and he can go to the graveyard if I want him to. If you can't reanimate him. 13, Return from Extinction. That's definitely gonna. Well, that's the sideboard card. We won't call that. That's 12. Rox Veteran. That's if it was 1 less, and it can be, but it's not always going to be. So we won't count that one either. No! Don't do that! Don't load. Savage Swipe. No. Rhyme Tender. I'm just going to say no. Oh wait, no. Yeah. So 12 cards basically for the new set, like that are definitely going to see Pauper play. So there you go, guys. And coming next, we have all the reprint cards for Modern Horizons on this very video. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Let me know what you like, dislike, what you think. Hit the like button, please. Thank you. Coming up, we got the reprints. We have I am spoiling Modern Horizons because we've had a spoiler every freaking day for the last week and a half or something. I don't even know. I don't want to do a video about 2 or 3 cards every day. I'd rather just do one about 31 cards today. We still got another week before the set comes out, or pre-releases, I should say. Which, if you guys if you don't play sealed tournaments, then whatever. Don't worry about it. If you're planning to play pre-release this weekend at your local game store, you may want to go ahead and register like within the next couple days, because they're filling up. My local store is having the same issue. I gotta go in there. I gotta go ahead and pre-register, or I might not get to play on Saturday. Maybe on Sunday. I mean, it is Saturday and Sunday. Anyway, we're here today to talk about what's playable, what's good. Obviously, there's reprints, so the reprints are, we'll talk a little bit about them. The new cards we're going to talk about more in depth. And then, let's just get right to it. I don't know what else to say. Except like, subscribe, and share. I could say that. But most of y'all wouldn't hear that. They'd just go in one ear and right out the other. Or I could say it a different way. I could say, hey, why don't you push them rusty, dusty YouTube buttons, man? Because we need all the help we can get, man. Actually, you know what? Nah, namaste. I'm totally at peace with living in a van down by Walmart eating Taco Bell every day. It's all good, y'all. No. All right, for real, though. So we got Baron Moore reprinted. That's great. Love the artwork on that. That's pauper playable. I mean, super good, especially in like a mono black, Battle Screech. I'm going to go ahead and make the call here. Oh, no, I'm not on Wi-Fi. I don't know if you guys saw that. Whatever, who cares? I don't know why my phone has to tell me things. Hold on a second. Had to put on the do not disturb because I don't want to be disturbed while I'm making this video for you guys. Alright, so Battle Screech. I'm just getting ready to say, I'm going to make a little prediction here that if we see anybody playing Boros, actually, hey, Boros players, don't play Boros until after July 7th, okay? There. And then we won't have a problem. But if I just get the funny feeling that this card's getting ready to get banned on July 7th, especially if we see an increase in players playing the Boros Monarch deck. Or, I mean, even, and see, here's the thing, like, you can also end up playing like a Orzhov Monarch with this in there. Or Azorius Monarch, which I want to try both those decks, and that's going to be coming soon to the channel, you guys. There's so many decks out there. It's just like, I'm always going to be behind. But I do promise I'm going to give every deck at least one. Every deck that I have printed off, like of 130 plus like a handful more, I'm going to give each deck at least one video. Of course, I'm also a brewer, so my babies have to get the spotlight too, like my Rainbow Sliver deck. Or if you go way back to the beginning of the videos, there's a Rakdos Thrash Metal deck that I was working on there about 2 months ago now. Alright, so anyway, yeah. Carrion Feeder, great reprint. Good card. Pauper playable. Useful in lots of decks. Zombies, Golgari Aristocrats, Tortured Existence, Dredge. Choking Tethers. Gag Me with a Spoon? No, thank you. That's like a C- at best. Crypt Rats, A+, good card to reprint. Yeah, they were getting about $5 a piece, so I guess, yeah, that's good. And they're uncommon, so they won't lose too much value. Edict is a good reprint, but, I mean, there's still plenty of them floating around there from Tempest. But whatever, yeah. Diabolic Edict, I mean, because they already reprinted Chainer's Edict, and I did not mean to click that. Okay, sorry. Dismantling Blow. Dismantling Blow. 2 and a white. Kicker 2 blue. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. If it was kicked, draw 2 cards. 6 mana to draw 2 cards and destroy an artifact. That's... Or early... I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't seem that useful. Although, that could be good in previous mentioned Azorius Monarch deck. That could go just fine. Or a Azorius Tron deck. But do I think that we'll see play in any other builds? No. And I would give this a B- at best. Or maybe even a C. Just like a straight C. Not a plus or minus, just a C. Remember when there was just C? Or just B? And, I guess there always was, but then like those kind of went away. It's like, well, what the hell is a minus and a plus for? Like, it's whatever. Anyway, Elvish Fury, a Tempest reprint that we didn't need, unless there's a. I mean, if this was a instant Elvish instant that you could possibly search for tribally, then that would make sense, but. 5 buyback. I mean, maybe if I did my Tron Elf deck. I mean, I did do that. That's a neat little brew I made way back when I started brewing for Pauper. But I didn't think to put Elvish Fury in there because it's not a good card. But anyway, yeah, that one gets a D- for me. Exclude. That's a good. Sorry, technical difficulty. I was saying that Exclude's a good reprint. We didn't really need it, in my opinion, just yet, but better sooner than later, I guess. It's really good in Turbo Fog and the blue-red control decks. It's good in creatureless decks, Mystical Teachings decks. Firebolt's pretty good. It ain't great. I'd say it's like a B+ or A- card. I mean, because there's so many other good burn spells, and its buyback or flashback is super expensive on it. I mean, if this was even a flashback of 4, I'd say still it's just an okay card. Better a late game card, but we don't build decks thinking, especially aggro decks. I mean, even Boros Monarch does. Like once in a while you'll see a list include one Firebolt maybe, but. It's just not that good. It's okay. But it's a good spot if you're like, I need some more removal and I'm running out of removal or whatever, and it's okay. I don't know. Forgotten Cave is, the red cycler. That's good. Gilded Light, 1 and a white. I think this is a new card. You gain Shroud until end of turn. Wow, that's really cool. So, and then I'll fling my ATOG at you. Okay, cool. Well, gain Shroud until end of turn. And I'll just hold this in case you don't have one the whole game, or whatever else, any big finisher. Rolling Thunder, or, yeah, that's a good card. That's solid. We're going to see a lot more mono white control because of this card, along with Loyal Sentry, which I haven't seen it. Since it was downshifted from rare, you'd think more people would be on that. I did build a deck. I'm going to build my own mono white deck here soon. It's going to be its own breed. It's going to be inspired by lists, but there ain't going to be one solid list it comes from. Like, I tend to, when I build decks, like I was doing the Petitioner build. I don't know if you guys have ever seen my video where I do where Petitioners played against Elves, and in a tournament setting that would have been a draw, 1-1, and timed out. But we did a bonus 15-minute round tie break because I didn't want any tied games here. Anyway, but that build was based on what I'd seen the Professor and Any Province. Obviously that's where I heard of Petitioners, because I wasn't staying on top of the new cards. I wasn't even making videos then. But, so it was loosely based on some of the cards that Any New Province had thrown in that deck, like Bellringer and there was another one that are really good for the Petitioners in general. They actually got banned in Arena, for those of you who didn't know or don't play Arena like me. The Petitioners are banned because it's just new standard cards. It's just too powerful for those new standard cards. But anyway, the Petitioner Tron deck that I built is kind of like based on the Azorius Tron deck that I'd seen before. It made real good use of Evoke on the Muldrifter with an Angelic Renewal in play, so you could draw 4 cards. It's fucking sick. And that's spelled Fugin in case you guys don't know how to spell the word I just said. Anyway, Goblin Matron. 2 in a red. When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a goblin card. Reveal that card, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. Solid card, solid reprint. I've already got myself a playset from when it was printed back during Tempest. I believe it was printed in Stronghold era. It may have been Exodus or Urza's Saga, one of those. Those all kind of blend together for me because those are like the sets I really came up on. And then I took a break and got back in on Time Spiral there, but I didn't really play Time Spiral. I played the sets that came after it. So I'm really happy with my Sliver Legions this week. Anyway, Krosan Tusker, I don't know why this card has been reprinted again. Like, they just keep it's like that annoying jab in the ribs, or poking the ribs from your girlfriend, like don't do that. Like, I don't know, like, what is it with this card? It's not that good. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal that card, put it in your hand, and shuffle your library. I guess Landfall might use this, but it's so late game, it's like, I mean, maybe Green Ramp? Simic? Sorry, dropped the phone. I don't know. It's just, like, why? I mean, yeah, I guess Reanimate, you can cycle it for 3. So you could do a green Reanimator with Greater Sandworm and this guy. And plus, if you're doing Striped Riverwinder and doing it Simic, like Miming Slime, but you still need a way to, so you either got to go like white or black so you can do Exhume or Resurrection. That's about all I could see this card being used for. So because it does have a couple of possible homes, I would give it a C-. Anyway, it's just too expensive otherwise. But yeah, it was a reanimation, 3 in the yard, or just find a way to discard it. Tortured Existence, that would suck because you still have to play it out of your hand. Lava Dart, oh boy, it's like Firebolt, but you get to sack a mountain instead of paying 2 or 6 to, yeah. Huh. There's already a Flame Jab. So now we have Flame Jab and Lava Dart for late game on burn decks. Or just, I don't know, that just seems like, yeah, if you're playing like there's this weird Timor ramp deck my friend Cole built that's works really good and gets a lot of mana in play and then aims to stop you from doing anything. Not too hardcore, because his main deal is it wants to dig through the deck and ramp up on land so it can burn you with a Rolling Thunder at the end of the game. And it has ways of getting around stuff because it uses blue, red, green. But anyway, Lava Dart, I haven't seen it in any builds really. I think maybe one list I've seen it in. I don't remember which one. It could go in a Monarch, Boros Monarch. It could go in Burn, but so could Flame Jab. And it's almost the same thing. I don't know, maybe Flame Jab's a sorcery. This is an instant for 1 red. You just have to sack a mountain to flash it back, but you only get to flash it back once, whereas Flame Jab is like Raven's Crime. You can continually do that. You're like, oh, I already got 4 mountains in play. I'm good. I can do 2 fire blasts or cast 3 1-drop burn spells. I don't need another mountain in my hand. So you discard a mountain and you pay 1, and you can play Flame Jab, deal 1 damage to. And maybe it's just target player. I'm pretty sure it's target player or creature. But anyway. Too much coffee today. Lonely Sandbar, the other, the blue cycler. Good reprint. Yeah, it's far back enough. Mana War. Man, I love that card back in the day. With a Wizard Mentor. You guys look up Wizard Mentor. Actually, I'll do you the work right now. I'll just go ahead and show you that card. Those worked so good back in the day. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Okay, sorry. Here we go. My Wi-Fi's in and out because I'm outside. Wizard Mentor. You tap him and turn him and target creature you control to understand. So you have a way to bounce loop. It's not a It was like the first bounce loop I discovered, and it's not the greatest, but it works. It was efficient for me back in the day. Oh no, where did that? Okay, there we go. Now go back to the other side. Don't go that way. Why do we have to reload? Stupid internet. I said Wi-Fi off. What the hell? This isn't it. Wrong thing. I didn't click that. Butthole. I'm sorry, my phone's being real glitchy. We were talking about Man-O-War. I don't know why we're on Cripats at the moment. But Man-O-War, yeah. Is he pauper playable? Possibly with the Wizard Mentor. Am I saying that for my own greedy purposes? Yes, because I'd like to see people play things I played back in the day, because I have a nostalgia for those cards. But are they really pauper playable? Probably not. So Man-O-War, while it's not really playable, I'd love to see people play that with the Wizard Mentor for my own selfish, nostalgic reasons. But at best, I think Man-O-War gets like a C+ or a B-. Not the best, not the worst. Is it pauper playable? Possibly, but is it going to see play? Probably not. I mean, it's been out for all these years, and I don't think anybody's going to be like, oh man, I mean, they printed it last year in Masters 25. I have a feeling there's somebody that works at Wizards that has the same nostalgic feelings towards this card, possibly. Okay, getting out there with the next card, Nimble Mongoose. That's a good one for Turbo Fog, possibly, could use it. Tortured Existence could use it. There's other decks, like that ramp deck I was just talking about, could use it. I think it's like a C, just a straight C, maybe C+. Pillage, yeah, that's gonna see play in the Ponza schemes only. Don't ask me why we call it Ponza after all these years. Just because, like, one guy wanted to call his deck Ponza. Actually, they do that in Italy. They make fried calzones. Why don't we just call Land Destruction Deep Fried Calzone then? Prohibit! That's obvious reprint that, as Pillage is a reprint, in case you guys didn't know. I'm sorry, I'm not telling you guys which ones are reprints every time. But I can start if it's a big deal. God. But they're all reprints. I just realized I'm reviewing all the cards that are going to be reprints in this set. And guess what we haven't seen? And we're already on the P. Yep. Elemento. Maybe they just wanted to fluctuate the price of oubliettes there for a second and not actually reprint us an oubliette. So we get Reckless Charge. That one's sort of playable in like tokens decks. Like, you know, you get a shit ton of tokens out on the board. Or wait, no, that doesn't work for tokens decks. That's one for like maybe both. I don't even know. Like, there's definitely some builds that could see using Reckless Charge, like, because I've tried to use it a couple times. But you generally want to go for, if you're going for that, you're generally wanting to do it to all your creatures, and then there's cards that do that flash back as well, and I forget the names of them, but that's not what I'm here to talk about today. And so we're just going over all these cards, and then we'll go over all the new cards next. So just so you know. And I didn't know that white card back there, which is really intriguing. I mean, alright, we're almost to the end of this, but Gilded Light. I feel like an idiot. Like, let's see when that was printed, because I've never heard of that card. And I don't know why I haven't seen play from it. Scourge. Wow. Damn. I probably have a couple of these. Okay. Anyway. So yeah, these are all reprints, and then we'll go over the new ones next. Alright, so we're down to, and just so we know, Prohibit, that's definitely playable. Reckless Charge is possibly playable. Secluded Steppe is definitely playable. But so are the Snow Covered Lands. We're not going to count those, just because I'm just going to see how many solid Pauper cards came out in this set. I mean, obviously the lands are neat and great. That's great. But I don't really want to count those, so I'm not going to. Because we're going back to that thing that was said, like, well, most sets only come out with 1 to 3 cards. So how many reprints is this set going to put out? And then new cards. I dare to say there's only going to be like 1 to 3 new cards that come out of this set. There's going to be reprints that are good. But how many actual cards are we going to get that are new to the Pauper format? Shelter, I've never seen this one before. Target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn, draw a card. You know what's better? Apostle's Blessing, and that should have been reprinted there. We got the snow-covered lands. Spore Frog is a good reprint. I'm a little unhappy they reprinted it because that was about $5 a piece, and I paid about $5 a piece like 6 months ago because I wanted to play Elves. And Unearth, which was reprinted in Masters 25, and I guess was originally printed in like Urza's Saga, maybe. Let's see if I'm correct. And then we'll go on to the new printed cards, the spoiled cards. Sorry about that, y'all. I about ditched this entire video because I was like, oh no, there's only reprints. Urza's Legacy. That's pretty close. Yeah. Alright, so we'll be right back.